Is Austin really heading towards a crash? And are you going to be able to ever buy a home here in the Austin area? Or are you priced out forever without having to sell a kidney? That's what we're exploring today. Let's break down what went on in the Austin area real estate market this past month and what it means as we head into the fall and the rest of the year. Stick around, I will be diving deeper into individual areas, more specifically later on in this market update, but for the highlights, prices seem to be balancing out, homes are sitting a little bit longer, and buyers are starting to get the upper hand with strong negotiations and smart offers. But here's the kicker, interest rates might shake things up, so stick around to the end because this could be your window of opportunity with the right game plan. In August of 2025, the median home price across Central Texas was about $438,000. That's the same as July, but down about 2.1% from last year. Up from last year, sorry. And here's what jumped out. 2,618 sales closed in August, and median days on market sit at about 49 days, up 6 days from last year at this time. Homes on average closed at almost 8% below their listed price though. Translation for all of you, the market's cooling, buyers now have some leverage, and sellers, you might have to price correctly or watch as the listing grows cobwebs. Austin's market is showing signs of balance, but definitely leaning a little bit buyer friendly. The median price is around $595,000, which is up 2.6% year over year. Now, pending sales jumped 11%, so people are still writing offers. Homes are averaging 48 days on the market, which 5 days longer than last year. Now, the takeaway for you is that more inventory, slower sales, and flexible pricing mean buyers finally have some breathing room, and for sellers, you have to have a plan to move with the market if you're needing your home to sell. Now, over in Pflugerville, the average home price was about $419,000, which is down 4.4% year over year. And homes are taking about 60 days to sell compared to the 49 days it took just a year ago. More listings are closing slightly under list price, and definitely signs of Pflugerville softening during August, especially as compared to July. Takeaway, buyers, you have to get some time to think, and sellers need strong pricing and solid prep work if you want your listing to get attention. Leander keeps making national lists, ranking third best small city to live in the United States. Population growth says it all. From about 59,000 in 2020 to over 87,000 in 2024, demand does seem to have cooled a little in August though, as no one seems prepared anymore to throw around cash like it's 2021. Average selling price was around $543,000, which is a 6.4% drop from last year. In fact, all the stats here were in the red. Homes are sitting longer, selling for less. Even the number of homes sold dropped by 20% last year, and everything else seems to have been holding steady fairly often from July. Takeaway, long-term value looks good here, but sellers need to show quality if they want to stand out. We definitely could be seeing the signs that the area is settling and maybe more stable than some of the other areas in the Austin metro area. Elgin doesn't get the spotlight all too often, but it's been drawing more attention lately. Affordability and location near Austin make it appealing. It sits in Bastrop and Travis counties and offers land and charm and hasn't been overrun like some of the other suburbs, and it's still being built out. We're seeing an average sold price of $346,000, which was up 5.4% from last year. It's about $20K higher than it was in July of this year. Increase in sales here year over year, and the average $196 price per square foot is definitely a steal when you compare it to the greater Austin area's average of $254. That means you can get a home for about $58 less per square foot in exchange for living a little further from the city. Let me know below if that is worth it to you. Takeaway here is, buyers, you might score overlooked deals here, and sellers should focus on highlighting the value you bring in this area. Georgetown's market has cooled a lot. The The average price sits around $531,000, and the days on market are averaging about 109 days. That's up from 94 days a year ago. There are over 2,600 active listings here with 746 price drops in August alone. Sellers, you need patience. Buyers, this is prime time to negotiate and watch out for a good deal and even make a move on something. And I know everyone's worried about the mortgage rates, and to be honest, the rates are still high, but there's plenty of talks about cuts coming soon. There are even some thoughts we may see interest rates drop to 6.1% in 2026, but there is no certainty to this, and this is only speculation. And if rates start to dip, here's what usually happens. Buyers flood back into the market, demand spikes overnight, sellers suddenly hold all the cards again, and multiple offers and over asking bids start creeping back in. The takeaway for this is waiting for rates might backfire. Beat the rush while homes are sitting a little longer and sellers are willing to make a deal. Wait too long and we could lose this opportunity. This market isn't crashing despite the constant fears people continue to try and push. We are seeing signs of it actually correcting and cooling in some places. Right now, we're in pretty much a sweet spot. Sellers are motivated, buyers have negotiating room without having to rush, with plenty of homes sitting, just waiting for someone to make a move. If you've been sitting on the sidelines, this might be your moment to make a play. We don't know when rates will actually drop, if they'll drop, or how sellers will react when they do, but once the crowd rushes back in, competition gets messy and paying over the list price comes back into play. Reach out if you would like to get a game plan in place to get ahead of the rush and just make sure that you are set up for prime success when it comes time. Let me know if I touched on your area down below in the comments, and if I didn't, tell me what area you're in. I'd love to discuss it with you.